Here, I started recording, so now I can share the screen. If you can see the slides, all right, if you can see the slides, say yes in the chat. If you cannot, say no. So hopefully everybody can see the slides right now. All right, so if everybody can see the slides, let's just begin. Okay, so last class was about what? It was about word problems, right? So today we'll be going over some literal equations, still using inverse operations, just a little bit different concepts. Multivariable equations, literal equations, same thing, right? But please don't confuse this with systems of equations. There's a difference, right? I'll show you later. Okay. So now we're going to review some things about word problems, go over the homework, okay? See how you did on that. And then we will be going over some multivariable equations, and then finally some practice problems, okay? So let's just begin here with a review of word problems. So hopefully everybody tried out the homework or at least looked at it. So everybody can type in the chat, right? Give me some tips on how you would solve these word problems. What made you, succeed in solving these problems? Some general tips, okay, for solving these types of word problems. So type in the chat, everybody. What are some things that you need to notice, or things you need to do when you're solving these word problems? Yes, Ivan, that's correct. Ignore the irrelevant numbers, right? If John is 10 years old and he has 5 apples and then he got 2 more apples, does it matter that he's 10 years old? No, it does not. That's why you need to only focus on the important numbers so you don't get confused later on, right? It's very good. So ignore, irrelevant numbers. Good. So what are some other tips? So let's see, what are some other tips? Identify the problem, that's very good. So as you can see, identify the problem. Slash the unknown, all right? Usually this is the problem anyways.
No.
And I think, what did you say?
It's like that. 放大.
Did somebody say something? Nothing? Okay, very good. Anyways, back on to what Yu Chen said. Write expressions and equations. Very good. So this one you have to model the problem with what? With expressions or equations with equations, right? Okay. And of course you have to, set the correct variables, set variables. This is very important. In relation to each other, right? You can't just have x and y. Usually if x is the amount of solution A, and B has to be solution A plus 50, then you're going to use x and x plus 50, right? You're not going to use x and y. That's the power of these variables. They can be in relation to each other. So now let's actually go on to these homework questions. I think they weren't too hard, so hopefully we did quite well on them. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to just quickly put your answers in the chat, and then we'll walk through it. Then I'm going to be calling on some volunteers to try and solve this problem. Okay, so I think some people said 54. All right. We have x equal to 9, Germany equal to 24. I'm assuming x is going to be the other country, whatever that was. I see. Okay, so we have 54, 24, 28, 29. So we have all answers all over the place. So, let's see how we can do this. All right, so I don't know which one is the correct answer. So let's just see which one, if we can volunteer for this one. Let's see who answered it actually. Zemo, can you solve this problem? You answered 28, right?
I
Zemo?
think I put the wrong answer.
Oh, that's completely fine. So just tell me the process on how you did it, right? So first, what is the unknown in this situation? What do we need to find here?
The amount Germany has.
Right. So Germany, we have to find this, okay? So now we can set up our variables, right? So let's say Sweden, won 3 more medals than China, right? And it says Germany secured 1 more than twice the number of medals bagged by Sweden. If 54 medals were won in all by these countries, 3 countries, how many medals did Germany secure? So whoever answered 54, I don't know what you're thinking, because all 3 of them got 54. If Germany got 54, then that means the others got 0, and it's probably not true, right? So now let's say China is equal to X. Let's say China is X. Okay. So Zemo, what would Sweden be if Sweden won 3 more medals than China, which is X?
X plus 3.
Very good. So X plus 3. And then if Germany secured 1 more than twice the number of medals bagged by Sweden, what would Germany be?
That would be 2x plus 3 plus 1.
Well, it'd be 2 times X plus 3, right? Plus 1. So it's actually 2X plus 7. Okay. So now I think maybe that's where you went wrong. So we know that all 3 of these countries, right? Will add up to 54. So let's just add them, right? We have here like this. So China, Sweden, Germany add up to 54. Combine the x's, we get 5 x's, right? We get 5 x's, and just 10 here is equal to 54. All right.
4x.
Oh, wait, not 5 x's. So it's 4 x's. So whoever corrected me, good job. 4 x's here. So 4x is equal to what? 44, x is equal to 11. So the answer should be 11 for China, but not for Germany, right? Because this is where it comes in handy, right? Reading the question, you can't just stop at x here, right? It is not just 11, because 11 is how many China has, right? We can find out Sweden. Sweden has 14, x plus 3, and Germany will have 2 times x plus 7. So 2 times x plus 7 would equal to 29. Whoever got 29, good job. So who got 29 here? All right, so Ivan, very good. Okay, so now let's go on to the second question here. Darren has $579 in his checking account. He uses his account money to buy 3 equally priced sweaters. Then he uses his account money to pay his credit card bill, which is 5 times the amount he paid for these 5 sweaters. All right, so now he's got like $165 in his account. How much did his credit card dues amount to? Right. So to solve this, I'll give you 1 minute to put your answers in the chat. All right, so let's look at the answers for this one. It seems like people got 345. I think most people, everybody got 345. So who wants to volunteer for this one? Do I have any volunteers for this one? Ivan? Okay, very good. So Ivan, come solve this problem. How did you solve this problem, Ivan?
Well, first, the sweaters is I used the X for the whatever the sweaters, and so the sweaters is 3x.
All right, so we're subtracting money, right? So it's minus 3x, right?
Minus 15x.
Right, because it's just 5 times 3x. Okay, and that's equal to what?
And then that's 18x, the 18x total, and then so right now he has 165. So 579 minus 165 is 414, and then so
Okay,
414 divided by 18x, I got 23. So x equals 23.
very
He
good.
bought he bought 3 sweaters, so that's $69 for all the sweaters. And 414 minus 69 is 345.
Okay, so that's very good job. So x is equal to 23, right? So then we know that his credit card dues are just 23 times 15. So that's very good. As you can see, it becomes very simple once you set up the variables correctly. So our answer is 345 here. Okay, so everybody who got 345, very good job. Now let's go to the third one. This one is pretty easy too. All right, so let's check answers on this one. Everybody has posted yes or not. Let me see. 40, 46, and 48. Very good. So let's just try to solve this problem. Do I have any volunteers right now, or do I have to walk through this myself? Okay, Justin, very good. Justin,
So since they're consecutive numbers, you would have x and then x plus 1 plus x plus 2. And then if you add all the x's together, you got 3x. And if you add 1 and 2 together, you get 3. So 3x plus 3 equals 141. You cancel out the 3 so by subtracting, and which gets you 138. 138 divided by 3 is 46. So 46 for 47, 48. If you add those together, you get 141.
right. So x is going to be equal to what? 46?
Yep.
And then 46, 47, 48. Very good job. Very good job. I mean, you could really just do it like x x minus 1, x plus 1. So then it's just like 3x is equal to 141. And then you immediately get the middle number, right? So this one's a bit faster, but your way is fine too. It's a very good job. So whoever got 46, 47, 48, yeah, that's correct. So now let's go and see this fourth problem. Robert earns whatever less than the salary earned by Noel. John earns whatever. If the total salary earned by them is 47,000 something, how much salary does Robert earn? So again, you have to add them all up. So again, you know, testing how you set up your variables, whether they're correct or not. I'm going to give you 1 minute to, post your answers in the chat. All right, so let's look at these answers. See if everybody has given me an answer. Okay, so Yuchen says 252.5. Let's see if that is correct. So, let's see. So Yuchen, can you unmute yourself and explain how you got that answer?
I don't think I got it right. But
That's
I
fine.
know is that I subtracted the salary difference between Robert and Noel from their total salary,
Okay,
then divided by
so
3.
let's just say we set up the variables first, right? So what would x be? All right. So what did you set up x to be?
I said X would be Robert's salary.
X to be Robert's salary? I don't think setting x as
Yeah.
Robert's salary is that intuitive, so it's not as good. So I think you should set x as Noel's salary. You see how Robert is in relation with, Noel, because you have Noel and then Robert is 512.75 less, right? Okay. And you see how John is based on Robert's salary, which bases on Noel's salary. That's why x should be Noel, right? So then if Noel is x, what would Robert be in relation to x? Are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so then it's x minus something, right? So what would it
Yeah.
be?
Bruh. So yeah, it's X minus Robert's salary and then so on, I think.
Well, Robert is 512.75 less, right? So what would
Yeah.
that be? So minus 512.75,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so then
Mm.
John earns 3 times Robert's salary.
Yeah.
3 times this, right?
Yeah.
See, if you do it like, you know, x is equal to Robert, this you want to have this, right? It's a bit
Yeah.
more complicated. But when you set x to Noel, it's very easy. So now we know that all three of them, x plus x minus 5112.75 plus 3x minus 3 times 5112.75. All of these add up to 47,645.25. All right, all of these add up. Okay. So
Yeah.
now we can use our calculator, try and find what these numbers are. We know we have 5x here. Okay, this is just, minus 4 times 5112.75. So this is equal to minus 2051 is equal to 47,645.25. Okay,
Yeah.
47,645.25
All right.
plus 2051. Okay, divided by 5. X is equal to about $9,939.25. Now that's the salary. Okay, I don't know what the salary is. Seems a bit too low for annually, but it's a salary nonetheless. So we know that X is equal to Noel, right?
Yeah.
But that's not actually Robert's salary. Robert's salary would be, 512.75 less than that. So we have to multiply this. Well, no, not multiply. We have to subtract 512.75 from
Yeah.
this. So we get 9,426.50. That's how much money Robert makes in his salary. So do you understand how yeah, so Denny, you got it correct. Very good job. So you understand how you have to set up these variables now, right? X isn't always the answer, or doesn't really define the problem all the time. It is just, something that you can base off of. That makes it easier to create this equation, right? So now let's go to number 5. In a local park, some children are on monkey bars. Number of children occupying the slides was 1/8 of the number of children playing on the monkey bars. 8 children were playing in the sandbox. If there are 35 children in total, how many children occupied the slides? Again, we're given some number in total, so we know that we're adding all of these values together and then solving for x or whatever it is, right? So it should not be too hard. I'll give you like 1 or 2 minutes to put your answer in the chat, and then we'll go over it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's go over this one. Let's see, 6 answers, very good. So 3, or Yuchen says 4 people. So different answers there. Let's see if who can volunteer to solve this problem. So do I have any volunteers? Ivan, very good, Ivan. So how did you solve this problem?
So first, the kind of irrelevant number is the children playing in the sandbox. So you just subtract 8 from 35 to get 27, and you don't do anything else. And then when you have 27, the children occupying the slides was 1/8 of the children on the monkey bars. So all I did was just 27 divided by 9 to get 3. So and then the people on the slide were 3.
Right, so let me see here. Actually, no, hold on. X plus 1/8 of X plus 8 is
27.
equal to
35.
35, right? So now this is 27. Okay, so where did you go from here?
So then
Or you can actually, let me just change this to make it easier.
I just made one
This
one
is just X and not 8X, right?
I
You
just
can
did
see that
1/9
too.
of 27 to get 3.
Yeah, there's many ways you can set up your variables here, but this would be a bit easier. So 9x is equal to 27, x is equal to 3. So the slides would be 3, yeah. People on the slides would be 3. Okay, so very good. That is all for homework. Now let's go to what some multivariable equations are. So can anybody name, I don't know if you learned them in school yet, but can anybody name some equations that you know that are multiple variables? All right, let me start. The area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. All right, so that's one of the formulas. Okay, that is multivariable. So please put in the chat any other formulas that you know that are multiple variables. Right, E is equal to mc squared. E is equal to mc squared. Okay. So any other formulas that you know? All right, area of a triangle is equal to base times height over 2. One more formula, one more. Perimeter is equal to 2a plus b. Right. So when we're working with multivariable equations, the key point is you're solving for the specified variable, all right? You're basically doing the same thing with linear equations, except this time you only have, variables and you're solving for the specified variable. Let's say that you want to solve for w, okay? Then this is w would be equal to a over L, okay? If you wanted to solve for m here, solve for m, all right? As you can see, we just take m is equal to e over c2, c squared, right? If you want to solve for b, you multiply both sides by 2, so you get 2a, and that's over h. All right, if you want to solve for a here, then you have to multiply this out. Okay, then you get what? P minus 2b is equal to 2a. A is going to be equal to P minus 2b over 2. That's how you solve these multivariable equations. You're solving for the specified variable, right? And then you're going to get an answer through inverse operation. So nothing really has changed. We're just using equations with multiple variables now, but you're still using the same concept of isolating the thing that you want to solve and isolating things that you don't want to solve, right? So if you're solving for W, isolate W. If you're solving for M, isolate M, and so on, right? So you're just using inverse operations. This is more, with variables, so it's not as concrete, right? But it's the same exact concept. That's the key point here. We're still using inverse operations. So without further ado, let's just go straight into these practice problems here. So we have this one. All right, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to solve this. Okay, so 5 minutes starting now. And as you can see, you're solving this equation for h. Okay. So it may look a bit confusing for some people, but again, just remember you're using the same exact concepts. All right, so let's go over this. Okay, so everybody says, h is equal to, I can read that. Let's just go right ahead and do this. Okay, so Yuchen, can you explain your answer?
So I simply divided both sides by h. No, wait. I divided both sides by 1/2 times b1 plus b sub 1 plus b sub 2. 1/2 times b sub 1 plus b sub 2. So
Okay.
yeah. And I think I made a mistake
You
with switching around the
just divided this
yeah.
whole thing off, right? That's correct. That's correct. That's what you need to
And
do.
then
So
I
let's
think I made a mistake moving around the numerator and denominator.
It's fine. So let's see what we can do here. So let's just first divide off b1 plus b2. Actually, let's divide off 1/2 first. When you divide 1/2, essentially, what are you doing? Are you there?
Yeah, I am.
So I asked you, when you're dividing 1/2, what are you doing essentially?
Multiplying by 2.
Exactly. So we multiply both sides by 2, we get rid of the
So
fraction,
yeah,
right?
2a equals b sub 1 plus b sub 2 times h.
Yeah. So now we divide this part, right? We
Yeah.
divide this part,
So yeah,
and what did you get after you divide that part?
h equals 2a over the b sub 1 plus b sub 2.
Yeah, that's all you need to do, as you can see. That is how you get h. So now this next one is a little bit, I think, more challenging since you're not solving for h this time, you're solving for something inside the parentheses b2. So there's a little bit more manipulation here. Okay, so maybe 3 or 4 steps. I'm gonna give you like 5 more minutes to do this, and then we'll go ahead and All right, so let's see what we have for this one. This one was considerably more difficult than last one. So let's see these answers. So do I have any volunteers that would like to show us how to do this? Any volunteers? If there are no volunteers, then I'll just do this, walk through this myself, since this one is a little bit more difficult. There's more steps. So first we have to solve for B2, right? Obviously, this 1/2 here isn't really connected to this B2, so we can just get rid of it, right? So let's multiply both sides by 2, right? 2a is equal to, B1 plus B2 times h. So now the question is, how do we get, how do we get to B2, right? How do we get to B2? Okay. Well, you see how, h is on the side here, right? You could do this, one of two ways. You could, let me see, you could divide by h and then subtract b1 from the other side, but that seems, a bit too much work because you do have to work with fractions and combining them. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use distributive property to multiply b1, b2 out, right? So now let's go here. 2a is equal to, hb1 plus hb2. So we want to get to b2, right? So we don't care about b1 here. So let's just move that to the other side, right? So we have this is equal to hb2. So now that we have that, we can now just divide both sides by h because we also don't need this h. So let's just divide both sides by h. b2 is going to be equal to 2a minus hb1 over h. So you can see 4 steps. So it's a little bit more complicated than the other one, right? So, are there any questions on this one? Right. So if there are no questions, then I will continue with the third one. This one you have to solve for b. All right, 2c over a plus 1 over b is equal to 2. To solve this one for b. Okay. All right, so let's check this problem, see if anybody got the answer for this. So Yuchen says B is equal to 2 times 2c over a. So Yuchen, can you explain your answer?
I simply multiply by b on both sides.
Well, actually, that wouldn't work
Which,
because you would have to
bruh.
multiply by a and b, right? Otherwise, you still have the other fraction.
Yeah.
So after you multiply by a and b, what do you get?
So 2ab equals 2c plus 1.
What? Yeah,
2
okay.
2a times 2b equals. Oh yeah.
Well, let's just go here, right? So what would this term be after being multiplied by ab?
2c times b.
Very good. So as you can see, 2c times b plus,
Plus 1
plus
equals.
well,
Plus
what?
1 plus a.
Okay, a is equal to 2ab, right?
Yeah.
Now you have, yeah, b. This one is considerably harder than the last one, actually. So now, let's just, you know,
I think we
a.
didn't divide both sides by a.
What did you say?
I think we divide both sides by a.
Why both sides by a? If you
Yeah.
divide both sides by a, you basically just reversed what you did, right?
Oh yeah.
Because you just multiply, now you're dividing again. That just
Yeah.
reverses things. So what you can do here is now you want b, right?
Yeah. I think I'm only being called on because I was the only one who submitted the answers.
That is true. All right. So now 2ab minus 2cb. Okay, so we want b, right? And
Yeah.
how would we factor, right? Think about reverse distributive property.
Oh
B
yeah.
on the outside,
Factoring.
2a minus 2c, right?
Yeah.
Because we're just basically reversing. We're taking this out, as
Yeah.
equal to a, and then we can divide this whole thing,
Yeah.
as you can see. So I don't know if you got the correct answer or not. Let me check.
Nah.
Yeah, but so anyways, now that you know the process well, maybe next time you can do better. Okay. So I think that is all for today. So literal equations, same concept, same concept. So use your inverse operations to do well on these, and then you should be doing fine on the homework. I already posted
Yeah.
the homework, and I'll be posting the recording soon. So everybody, good job today, and I'll see you next lesson. Okay, see you next week,
All right.
or maybe not.
Thank
Maybe
you.
something happens next week. Okay,
Thanks. Bye.
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.